In the strange and mysterious death of a man named Alfred Wright, we've been covering this all week. He's the Texas father of 3 who vanished last November. His family found his body nearly 3 weeks later. That was 2 weeks after local authorities gave up searching in the exact area where ultimately his body was found by his own family. The local sheriff told them there was no sign of foul play. The family is alleging a murder and a cover-up. They're disputing nearly everything, the official account, from the cause of death to the condition of his body to the notion that Wright, with no history, they say, of drug use, let alone drug abuse, sprinted off into the Texas scrub forest one day, stripped down to his boxers, and gave himself a lethal dose. Now, in addition to all that, there is this, an ordinary everyday item found near Alfred Wright's body that in this case could be some sort of a calling card. Deborah Farrick tonight is keeping him honest.
On the bramble-covered trail not far from Alfred Wright's body, volunteer searchers immediately noticed something out of the ordinary.
And one thing that really stood out when we first found the body, we couldn't explain the dime. Why is there a silver dime laying on top of the ground? We couldn't figure that one out.
It's unlikely the dime fell out of Alfred's pocket, since he was found wearing only black boxers, his shoes, and a single sock with his cell phone tucked inside. There'd been lots of rain and heavy winds, yet the shiny dime was spotted in plain view on the edge of a trail. That trail is off the cattle field, which Sabine County Sheriff's deputies had supposedly searched looking for Alfred in the days immediately following his disappearance.
I mean, there's an open gate here, almost a straight path, and then his body was right through the gate, the fence here, down one of the only open trails in this woods.
The presence of the dime seemed strange. Strange, that is, to everyone but Brenda Chastain.
When I heard that a dime was found close to his body, that spooked me.
The East Texas woman was in a relationship with Sabine County Sheriff Tom Maddox, the sheriff in charge of the search for Alfred Wright. She says she and the sheriff dated, not exclusively, for about 3 years. She broke it off not long ago, in part, she says, because weird things were happening.
I have found a dime, like in different places, like the bathroom sink. Pull the covers back, the dime's there. The car, where you, when your car door is shut, it's set in there somewhere. When you open it, it falls out.
We asked her to show us. So that morning, you know definitely you had made the bed.
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, and what did you find?
Well, after I'd gotten my shower and got ready for bed, what I normally do, I'll either throw the pillows in that chair, but what I do is like that number. And then when I pulled this back, there was a dime sitting, laying on the...
Right in the middle of the bed?
Right in the middle of the bed, on my side, yeah.
On your side?
Which is interesting, how they know which side I sleep on. How they know I don't sleep on that side. Who knows I sleep on this side? Who knows my habits? And an old logging trail.
Chastain says she has no idea who left the dimes. We found no evidence tying them to the sheriff. In the criminal world, dropping a dime means snitching on someone, and leaving a dime at a scene can be a warning to keep your mouth shut. Chastain lives in Rusk County, more than an hour from Sabine. She'd been complaining to her local police and sheriff deputies about suspicious behavior at what she calls a known meth house adjacent to her 63-acre property.
Complained to the sheriff, anybody that would listen.
People in Sabine County and surrounding towns say there are a lot of drugs, a lot of meth in these areas. Alfred Wright's official autopsy found 3 types of drugs in his system: meth, cocaine, and amphetamines. His left ear and his tongue were missing. The 28-year-old physical therapist and married father of 3 was on his way to treat his last patient of the day when his truck broke down at a liquor store. He was on his cell phone with his wife, waiting for his parents to pick him up when he disappeared, bolting into the deep East Texas woods, according to the store clerk, who was one of the last known people to see him alive. Despite finding his clothing on a nearby ranch, the sheriff had called off the search for the college grad after just 4 days, offering a theory but no evidence.
You know what he told us? Oh, he just ran away. He was probably on drugs. And if someone is on meth, this is how they act. They get hot, they get out of their clothes. I'm looking at my husband and I'm saying, okay, why is he coming up with this? No one has said anything about any drugs or anything.
We spoke to someone who knows a lot about the local drug culture, but who was too scared to speak to CNN on camera for fear of reprisals from Sabine County law enforcement. The person says everyone is talking about Alfred's death, and yet no one in the area remembers ever seeing Alfred buy or use drugs. His family also says they'd never seen him use drugs. A search of his truck may have provided immediate answers. However, the family says Sabine County Sheriff deputies did not search it, claiming it had been contaminated after his wife moved it away from the front of the store, as she'd been asked to do by one of the deputies. With so many unanswered questions, we went back for a second time to try to talk to the Sabine County Sheriff in person. There are so many unanswered questions. We just wanted to circle back around, sir.
Have a great day.
We just wanted to circle back around and give you the courtesy. Okay, thank you very much. As for the presence of the dime not far from Alfred Wright's body and his missing tongue, they may or may not be significant. But they add more questions to the dozens already out there. Did Alfred Wright know something he was not supposed to? Something possibly threatening? Something that ultimately led to his disappearance and death? And was his death a warning to others?
I mean, this case really doesn't make any sense. The official autopsy said that he died, what, 3 hours after he was actually found?
Yeah, his decomposed body was found 3 hours later. That's when he died.
So that's clearly a mistake or doesn't make any sense. And you understand now from your reporting that he actually knew the sheriff's daughter?
Correct. And we had spoken to several people, and that's what they told us, that they knew each other through their similar work in healthcare. He was a physical therapist. She scheduled physical therapists in the same area where he worked at one specific clinic. We stopped in that clinic. She was not there that day. But she did go on Facebook, and she did change her message saying, quote, "I did not know him. I never met him nor his family, never spoke with him and his family. There was never a relationship." So she's making it very clear. And also,
So she's saying she didn't know him.
She's saying she did not know him. She's saying she did not know him. But then you talk to other people, and they make it very clear, you know, the dynamics of a small town, that in fact they were known to each other.
I mean, there's so many questions about this this unexplained. There was a hotel. He had rented a hotel room when his wife was out of town.
He did, and
so that raises a lot of questions.
Well, that also raises a lot of questions, and he actually did it 3 times in the 5 weeks before he died, in that sort of time period. We did confirm that he was at one of the hotels, that he checked in alone on a Friday evening. He was still wearing his scrubs that he'd had on from work. And then he left the following morning, on a Saturday morning, sometime sort of before lunch. He was talking to an elderly couple. They were heard saying, well, you know, maybe we'll need your physical therapy services in a couple of years. He seemed very relaxed, very good. And you know, the coworkers we spoke to said that he was adored by his patients, just very, very friendly. The hotel also, Anderson, is sort of shaped in a T. So you walk in the bottom of the T, but there are 2 entrances on both sides. So it's possible, and Texas Rangers have this tape and they're looking at it, it's possible that whoever he was with may have come in from those other entrances.